I do not recommend buying a Wii U in 2019. I'm Johnny the Gamer, and today I'll be answering the following questions. Can I save money buying a Wii U instead of the Switch? Are there enough Wii U exclusives to justify buying the console? Does the backwards compatibility of the Wii U offer enough value to warrant buying one? And finally, does the Wii U offer enough games in the eShop to ditch the Switch and go with this, quite frankly, weird console? We're about to find out the answer to all of those questions coming right up. Let me just say right off the bat that you would have to be insane, out of your mind, to buy a brand new Wii U in 2019. As of right now, these things are going upwards of $700 to $800 for the bundles, but that's brand new. That's what I'm trying to let you know right off the bat. That is brand new. We're not talking about buying a new Wii U, because you'd have to be crazy to do that at this point. So we're just going to run in a little experiment, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so can I save money by buying a Wii U instead of a Switch? Yes, you can absolutely save upwards of $200 if you go with a Wii U instead of a Switch. However, there are some very severe downsides to this. And I am cheap as all crap. I am super cheap, so I wanted to be as realistic as I could, and the cheapest deal I could find that I myself would actually be willing to pay for was $99.99, and this was from GameStop. And mind you, this was a refurbished model, which I haven't heard very good things about, but we're going to run it for this experiment. So let's say you go with this model, right? $99 GameStop refurbished. Okay, let's hope for the best. Let's say it works. Now, one major issue with this particular deal is that you're only going to get 8 gigabytes of memory. And to put it in perspective, Hyrule Warriors will take up about 7 gigabytes alone. So clearly that is not enough memory to start off with. So you'll have to upgrade the memory. And I myself would probably go the route of an external hard drive just because you can get so much more for a lot cheaper. I actually found this deal for 250 gigabytes of memory, and it's around 28 bucks. So we are at $130 before tax for this basic Wii U bundle, and we don't have a single game to play yet. So add a $20 exclusive, we'll go with Wind Waker because I really want that game and I don't have it. Now we're at $150 with one good Zelda game and a bunch of memory. So that doesn't sound like too bad of a deal, right? I mean, unless you're, allergic to getting refurbed models from GameStop. So you're at, give or take, about $150, which is about $150 cheaper than a brand new Switch. Now granted, you've got the refurb model versus having a brand new Switch, so you're saving $150. In my opinion, is it really worth it? I mean, you do have a lot of memory. It sounds like a pretty decent deal, right? Well, that brings me on to point number 2. So we've seen that you can indeed save quite a bit of money if you're willing to sacrifice a couple of things to get the Wii U. But now that brings us to our second question of the video. Are there enough Wii U exclusives to justify buying the console? And in my personal opinion, no, I don't think there are. This is mainly because from what I've seen, I want to say there's about 25 exclusive badass, great Wii U games that are exclusive to the system. You can't play them anywhere else. But Nintendo has ported and continues to port a ton of great games that were on the Wii U, so if you're patient, they will most likely port over the game you want on the Switch. So you're kind of in a very weird area and time if you buy a Wii U right now, because you're getting discounts on Wii games as opposed to buying them on the Switch. However, you might be missing out on some bonus content that some of these new ports are coming out with. So is, give or take, 25 exclusive Wii U titles enough to make you purchase the system? Well, not really in my opinion, but this kind of brings me to my next point. a lot of diehard Wii U owners love their Wii U because there's huge value in buying it because the backwards compatibility that it has to the Wii U library is insane. You're gonna get at least 1,200 games that you won't be able to play if you skip the Wii U and don't own a Wii system to begin with. So to answer the question, does the backwards compatibility for the Wii U offer enough value to warrant buying one, is it really depends on if you love Wii games and if you own a Wii system, because if you don't care about that library of games, then you don't really care. You're not going to care about those 1,200 games. And if you already own a Wii system, then you already have access to those games. And I would add that you have further value because your Wii system is compatible with the entire GameCube library, which offers insane value. So why not just skip the Wii U if you have a Wii system and go play some Skyward Sword, go play some Twilight Princess, go play the Zelda games that you love on your Wii system. I know I might sound a little crazy right now, but I think that's awesome that the Wii can actually play your backlog of GameCube games, your physical GameCube games. But I think you get my point, is that you'll still have a lot of access to a lot of games if you just have a Wii system and you're thinking about getting a Wii U or a Switch. My advice would be skip the Wii U and just go for the Switch if you already have a Wii system. So let's say you don't have a Wii system, right? So you don't have access to all those games and you're thinking about the Zelda games that you could play, especially HD remasters that are already on the Wii U, which I fully admit, of course, I love those games. I love that they remade them in HD, and I think it's awesome. But the thing is, I just don't see Nintendo not releasing those in the future for the Switch in some sort of amazing bundle pack that's like the definitive Zelda bundle pack. Like, I can just see it coming, right? That's just my opinion, though. Let's move on to question number 4. Does the virtual eShop offer enough titles to ditch the Switch and go for the Wii U? And the quick answer here is hell yes. Right now on the Nintendo Wii U Eshop, whatever it's called, you can actually buy so many titles for retro systems. So many. It's unbelievable. They have an amazing library for retro consoles. They don't have every single game, but they have SNES games, they have NES games, they have GBA games, they have N64 titles, they have, I believe, GameCube games. There is so much value on that damn shop for the Wii U, it's enough to knock your socks off. There's gotta be at least like 300 titles that I would totally buy. There is one little thing that worries me, and that is we don't know how long this shop is going to be open for. They just closed the shop for the Wii this year in January. You can't buy retro games virtually on that eShop anymore. It's closed. So really you'd have to have that on your shoulder every time you were shopping for retro games with the Wii U. You'd have to wonder when they're going to close shop, right? So that's a bit of a worrisome thing to think about if you're going to get a Wii U. Now, granted, I know that you can keep those virtual games that you purchase off the shop if you've already purchased them. So you'd have to buy all of the games to your satisfaction to own them before the shop hypothetically closed. So it's a risk. Let's not forget the number one selling point that Nintendo had for the Switch, and that was that you can't take the damn Wii U with you. You're linked to your house. You can't take it wherever you want and play your favorite games. I just wanted to remind you of that, because that's a big deal, and I know it's obvious, but I mean, hey, I'm just trying to look at this thing from every different angle if you're faced with this dilemma. Another big complaint that I found with people in this dilemma is that the Switch doesn't actually have Netflix. It just now got YouTube, but to me this is a minor problem because they'll most likely add Netflix to the Switch, and there's already Hulu on the Switch, so just watch Netflix on one of your other 1,000 devices that already has it, for God's sake. The point I'm trying to get at is that Nintendo is day by day trying to make the Wii U obsolete. I truly believe this. I think that they're actively trying to keep the only exclusive games the Wii U has to offer off of the Switch for now, because the Wii U is still kind of a newish system that I'm sure Nintendo doesn't want diehard Wii U owners to feel like they got shortchanged with a new system they may have just bought when they see that Nintendo put everything the Wii U has to offer on the Switch. With that said, to answer the question to this long-winded video, no, I do not recommend buying a Wii U in 2019, especially if you own a Wii system that has access to its 1200 plus game library. Personally, I would much rather go with a 3DS with the mass amount of games in its library versus the few exclusives I'll get to play on my Wii U until the Nintendo ports most, if not all of them, to the Switch in a better resolution and probably extra bonus content. And yes, I get it, the Wii U Eshop is fantastic. I mean, that alone could definitely be a system seller if you're into retro games. So it really boils down to the software. What kind of software do you want to play? Are you looking for a system that can be backwards compatible with the Wii library and also compatible with lots of retro games digitally that you can purchase? Or are you looking towards the future at what Nintendo has in store for the most state-of-the-art console that they have ever made? And yes, I know I sound biased right now, but seriously, they have Metroid coming for the Switch. They have Fire Emblem, like, what the f*** is it called? They have Splatoon 2, it's an exclusive for the Switch. They have Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's an exclusive for the Switch. They have Super Mario Party. They have Yoshi's Crafted World. They have Super Mario Maker 2 coming. I know there's some diehard Mario Maker fans out there, but they have a second game coming, and if that's not enough for you, then by all means, buy the stinking Wii U system, but it's becoming more obsolete, and that's the concern here. It is a dead system. I don't know what to say to people that say it's not. It's dead. They're not producing games for it anymore. Maybe a couple here and there, but not anymore. They are making the best games they possibly can for the Switch. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to bash Wii U owners. I own one. It doesn't have to be dead in a sense of you play it, you get value out of it, you love it. I'm kind of the same way. I'm looking to get some HD Zelda titles on mine. My personal console, Wii U console, is not dead. I'm saying it's dead in a sense of they're not making anything for it anymore. So you're going to be spending your hard-earned cash on a system that they are not producing software for anymore. Anyway, this feels so long-winded, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I could go on and on about this topic. I really enjoyed making this video. Like I said, it's really not to bash the Wii U. I'm not saying it's a bad system. I like the hardware. It's solid. Like, everything about it is solid. It's actually really comfortable as well. I have big hands, so I like the way this thing feels. Don't get me wrong, I'm just simply trying to give you the best option that you know. My hopes for this video is that you just get some useful information to help you make the decision if you don't own either of the consoles and you're trying to figure out what is going on here, because I know it's a confusing question. Like, a lot of people just don't know what this thing is about, and it does have some cool features, but overall, I gotta say, I would skip it and just go with the Switch. While I'm at it, I thought I'd show you my Wii U games collection that I have. It's not very big, so why not? I've got Super Mario 3D World, fantastic game. Nintendo Land, played it once when the system first came out, don't care for it. Zelda Breath of the Wild, this is, of course, everybody knows, one of the best games. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, this game is amazing. Really good Donkey Kong game. The mechanics are very solid. I mean, it has a lot of, it's challenging, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the old classic Donkey Kongs. They're just hard enough. They're not too easy. They're right in that sweet spot of difficulty. So yeah, super good game. Also ported on the Switch with, I believe, extra content. Then I've got Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. Great game. I was playing this earlier today. I really love this game. They have a better version on the Switch that I can't afford at the moment, so this definitely suffices. That's another reason. If money's an issue, let me just say, yes, you're gonna save money with the Wii U. My main issue is that I don't feel like you're gonna get the value that the Switch has to offer if you're just willing to pay a little bit more. Well, kind of a lot more, but you get my point. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johnny the Gamer. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if it's your first time here. Drop a like, that'd be awesome. And comment on the video if you have opinions just about anything. So yeah, see you next time. Peace.